To begin, you'll log into the Credential Publisher, and you'll log in using the same login credentials you created when setting up an account in our account system. The two systems are synced, so you won't need a separate login. After you're logged into the publisher, you'll be directed to the search page, and you'll see this Add New Bulk Upload dropdown at the top, and if you click it, you'll see this Bulk CSV Upload subheading. Underneath that, you'll see this Outcome Data link, and clicking that will direct you to the bulk upload tool. On the tool, you'll see Select Your Organization at the top of the page. To select your organization, simply click the dropdown and select your organization from the list. The page will then say that you are on your organization's bulk upload tool. Moving down to the introduction, you'll see this is just an overview of the bulk upload, as well as steps to upload new outcome data and update existing outcome data. You'll also see a note about the equity benchmark model right here below the steps to upload, letting you know that certain properties in the bulk upload are part of the different tiers of the equity benchmark model. Tier 1 properties are represented by a signal bars icon with one filled-in bar. Tier 2 properties are represented by a signals bar icon with two filled-in bars, and Tier 3 properties are represented by a signals bar icon with three filled-in bars. We'll be focusing on Tier 1 properties for this demo, so we'll be looking for properties with one filled-in bar when we get to selecting our properties. And to the right, you'll see this Print This Page button, which will allow you to download and print a PDF of the steps to bulk upload outcome data. Moving down to Step 1, Complete Your Organization, you'll just expand this organization's tab, and you'll see your organization's CTID, and your organization's address below. And to use these addresses in your bulk upload spreadsheet, just include the address IDs as a pipe-separated list of values. Moving on to Step 2, this is where we'll select our properties to be included in our template. And so you'll notice we have it selected to upload new outcome data for the purpose of this demo, but you can also update existing outcome data once the data is in the registry. So you'll see this Required Properties tab, which expands, and you'll see these properties are part of our minimum data policy and have been pre-selected for you if you look over here, so they'll automatically be included in your spreadsheet when you download it. Two properties are not part of our minimum data policy, but under the Required tab, Data Provider and About. And this means these properties are only required in the absence of other properties, and regardless, these properties are part of our equity Tier 1 benchmark model, so we'll go ahead and check them off. As these properties are part of our minimum data policy and required to publish to the registry, they are also part of our Tier 1 equity benchmark data, so you will see the signals icon with one bar next to each property. And just to run through these required properties underneath this tab, they are external identifier, resource name, description, data provider, and about, or the subject matter of the resource. Like I mentioned, the required properties are automatically selected. There's no way to unselect these properties, so no need to worry about missing them from your spreadsheet. And just looking at the minimum data, you see we have the property name in this column. In this column, we have a description of the property and an example of what data goes into that property. And we also have the special data requirements on how to format the data in the spreadsheet for the upload. So now that we've run through the minimum data required to publish, let's continue and select some properties for our spreadsheet and highlight some of the properties that are part of our equity Tier 1 benchmark data. You'll notice that none of the properties past the minimum required data set have been selected right over here. So you have the ability to scroll through and select these properties to include in your spreadsheet. And once you've selected all of your properties, you'll just come down here to Step 3 to download your template. Be sure to select Include Sample Data and include instructions so that those will be included in the template for your reference, and click the Downloads Template Spreadsheet button. And this spreadsheet will download to your desktop as a CSV file. You can convert the CSV to an Excel doc or Google Sheet to easily input your data. So I'm going to go to the template that I have downloaded. So you can see the template here in Google Sheets. So you'll see sample data and instructions in rows 2 and 3. So you can reference them in the spreadsheet so you don't have to keep going back to the bulk upload page. And you'll see in row 1 up here that all of these different properties are the properties that were included in my spreadsheet. And that includes minimum required data and the other data that is part of the benchmark recommendations. Now I'm going to tab over to the completed outcomes data spreadsheet and quickly explain some of the properties here. So in column A, we have data provider, which is credentialing organization or a third party providing the data. We have credential CID. If the outcome data is related to a credential in the registry, we can show that relationship here. External identifier to distinguish between each row of outcome data to avoid duplicates. The name of the outcome data, as well as the description of the data set. And the source, which is a link to a web page about the outcome data. The data suppression policy in column G, which is a description of a data suppression policy for earnings and employment data when cell size is below a certain threshold to ensure an individual's privacy and security. And these data set time period columns, so the date the resource became valid, right here, data set time frame, start date, and the end date, so the date some event or activity ends. And you'll see we also have name and description here. So this data set is named 3 years after graduation, and the description says medium earnings are for graduates for the 3rd year after graduation. You'll see the next set of columns is holders and set, which is the number of credentials holders. So all of these programs have 22 number, which is the number of students in the program. And then we have pass rate columns. So the description says completed successfully. So 90% in the percentage column of 22, which is 19. So you put that pass rate amount in column P. And you'll note that the percentage is formatted in such a way that the percent sign is not included. And continuing on, we have employment rate description. You'll see this says the percent of graduates who were employed 3 years after graduation and the employment rate percentage. Also note without a percent sign for formatting. Lastly, we have earnings amount with the monetary amount in column T and the currency in column U. Note the formatting for the monetary amount right here, no commas or decimals. So once you're done filling out the template, you'll delete column A, as well as sample data and instructions in row 2, just to remind you what those look like. This is column A, and then rows 2 and 3, those will be deleted. And they need to be removed before upload or you'll receive an error. And just to give you a reminder, like I said, this is column A, and then these 2 rows will need to be deleted. Okay, going back to the completed spreadsheet, you will just need to save the file as a CSV file right here. And it's important to save the file as a CSV file, as that is the file extension that works with our system. So going back to the publisher, we'll continue scrolling down here. So step 4 has some helpful tips and tricks as you are inputting your data in your spreadsheet. We have already inputted our data, so we will just upload our data under step 5. So to upload the data, you'll select Choose File, and we will be sure to select the right file, and then select Preview. And you'll see that the tool will replicate your spreadsheet, and you'll see the properties as the column headers and all of the data you've entered. So you can use this as an opportunity to do a final quality check before uploading. When you're done, you can click the Save this data to the Publisher button. And when you click it, it'll ask you if you're sure you want to upload the data. It'll tell you the upload is in progress. It'll give you an estimated upload time. And when your data has been uploaded, you'll get this green success message that says your data has been uploaded, and you will also see the upload results. So the next step is to approve your data to be published. So to do this, you'll click this organization summary page link that's underneath step 6, and this will take you to the summary page where you will approve your data to be published. And I will tab over to the summary page. So depending on how much data you have in the publisher, you'll just wait for all of the tabs to load. You'll see the outcomes data tab right here. And if you click the tab, you'll see all of the outcomes you've entered into the publisher. So to approve the data, you'll just select all over here and click the Approve All Selected Items button at the bottom. And once everything is approved, the publishing team will get an automatic email notification that you have approved your data, and we will go in and publish it to the registry, and it will be made viewable in the Credential Finder.